Hatred towards my country was at an all-time high. We had an illegitimate president who used fear to push his illegal acts, all the while leaving our nation holding the bag.
Biological weapons, anthrax, botulinum toxin, sarin, mustard, and VX nerve agent, nuclear weapons production.
Hatred towards my country was at an all-time high. We had an illegitimate president who used fear to push his illegal acts, all the while leaving our nation holding the bag.
Biological weapons, anthrax, botulinum toxin, sarin, mustard, and VX nerve agent, nuclear weapons production.
Hatred towards my country was at an all-time high.
I call you my base.
We had an illegitimate president, merely a puppet for the international business cartels, but the world viewed him as the poster child for every American citizen and held us responsible for his actions. He joked and chuckled at all the torture and deaths of the innocents at his hands.
Those weapons of mass destruction got to be somewhere.
Most of us, as well as the rest of the world, were ready to see this man go. And then came Obama, the man who fooled the world. On November 4th, 2008, Barack Hussein Obama was elected as the 44th President of the United States of America, and the people rejoiced. The celebration rang out around the world.
I, Barack Hussein Obama,
I,
do solemnly swear
I, Barack Hussein Obama, do solemnly swear
that I will execute the office of President to the United States faithfully,
that I will execute
the office of President of the United
office of
States,
President of the United States faithfully,
and will, to the best of my ability,
best of my ability,
preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States.
preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States.
So help you God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President. All the best wishes.
After being sworn in, Obama grabbed the bull by the horns, pushing full steam ahead on his promises, requesting a temporary halt to get more trials and a new dawn of government transparency.
And the rule of law will be the touchstones of this presidency. During this period of economic emergency, families are tightening their belts, and so should Washington.
He got to see his new office and in private read the letter that Bush Jr. had left him addressed 244 from 43. He had meetings aimed at getting our economy back on track, bringing our troops home. He even called Israel and the Palestinians to speak about resolving the Gaza conflict. He was on a roll.
You know, these kinds of moments come around just every so often. The American people are really counting on us now.
The next day, Obama elected to say his oath again because of the previous day's slip-up. White House counsel Greg Craig called it an abundance of caution. He then signed some executive orders, one being Executive Order 13490, Ethics Commitments by the Executive Branch Personnel. Lobbyist gift ban, revolving door bans on lobbyists entering and leaving positions in our government, closing the ancestral revolving door between the big business and government sounds like a really good idea to me. I mean, this guy's on it. The very next day, he signs the executive order to close Gitmo within 12 months.
First executive order that we are signing by the authority vested in me as President by the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America, in order to effect the appropriate disposition of individuals currently detained by the Department of Defense at Guantanamo, and promptly to close the detention facility at Guantanamo consistent with the national security and foreign policy interests of the United States and the interests of justice, I hereby order. And we then provide the process whereby Guantanamo will be closed no later than 1 year from now. We will be, is there a separate executive order, Greg, with respect to how we're going to dispose of the detainees? Is that written?
Set up a process.
We will be setting up a process whereby this is going to be taking place. The individuals who are standing behind me represent flag officers who came to both Joe and myself and all the candidates and made a passionate plea that we restore the standards of due process and the core constitutional values that have made this country great, even in the midst of war, even in dealing with terrorism. They made an extraordinary impression on me. They are outstanding Americans who have fought and defended this country, and for them to fight on behalf of our constitutional ideals and values, I think, is exceptional. So I wanted to make sure that they were here to witness the signing of this executive order. There we go.
He went on to sign the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act of 2009, in which he said there would be no benchmarks. Launched his health care campaign. Chairs a UN Security Council meeting to show that he means business, going on to winning the Nobel Peace Prize. And everywhere he went, tens of thousands of people would come from miles and miles around just to catch a glimpse of change. Today, as the presidential election is approaching rapidly, the country seems a lot different than what was promised.
We'll get started here in about 5 minutes. I'm going to let this play a little bit longer and invite more people to the conversation, and then we'll get started.
3.5 years ago. Obama's approval decline paints the picture of broken promises. He dropped from his 70% approval rating in his first 3 months to 44.4% at the end of his third year. Gitmo is still open and operational 3 years after his executive order to close it. Heck, they even just recently finished building a $750,000 taxpayer soccer field there. He had campaigned on transparency of government and the protection of privacy for all U.S. citizens, but we've watched a different story unfold over the last few years as he has extended the Patriot Act twice.
President Barack Obama has signed a one-year extension of several provisions in the nation's main counterterrorism law, the Patriot Act. They would have expired on Sunday. They authorized court-approved roving wiretaps to permit phone surveillance. They also allowed the seizure of records and property in anti-terror investigation.
He signed the National Defense Authorization Act of 2012, which allows for the indefinite detention of U.S. citizens.
10 years after 9/11, in the wake of the demise of Osama bin Laden, the only leader that al-Qaeda has ever known, and we're passing a provision that would codify the indefinite detention without trial of suspected enemies of the state. And that includes, as you mentioned, American citizens apprehended here on U.S. soil. We have not codified indefinite detention without trial since the McCarthy era. That's how extreme this is.
He said he did it with reservations, adding a signing statement that he has the power to detain Americans, but claims he won't. He signed the National Defense Resources Preparedness Executive Order, giving him the authority to commandeer all domestic U.S. resources, food, water, infrastructure, energy and transportation, and forcibly draft American citizens into the military. He has extended the time the National Counterterrorism Center can collect and hold on to records of U.S. citizens and residents for 180 days, which Bush had enacted, to 5 years, even where those people have no suspected ties to terrorism. He signed Bill H.R. 347, which gives a whole new meaning to the term free speech zone, as there will be none near what the government deems restricted buildings or grounds, disrupt the orderly conduct, basically protest, of government business or official functions. This would include events like the RNC, the DNC, or other gatherings where people would want to use their First Amendment right to voice their discontentment to the people they're discontent with. In today's America, even hugging and dancing at a national monument is no longer tolerated and will be treated like a national security risk.
We're moving, man. We're in love. We're stopping. You are not arresting us for standing here. For what?
Turn around, put your hands behind your back.
Hey, watch my arm! Watch my arm! Watch my arm! Watch my arm!
This is your last warning. Sir, this is your last warning.
We watch the TSA at airports and train stations abuse its powers, continuing to harass seniors, children, infants, and the disabled, knowing full well that they are not terrorists. Obama has done nothing about this. We've also watched how he reacts to national disasters like the BP oil spill.
The United States government has always been in charge of making sure that the response is appropriate. But make no mistake, BP is operating at our direction. Every key decision and action they take must be approved by us in advance. As we devise strategies to try and stop this leak, we're also relying on the brightest minds and most advanced technology in the world. We're relying on a team of scientists and engineers from our own national laboratories and from many other nations. A team led by our Energy Secretary and Nobel Prize-winning physicist, Stephen Chu.
Yep, and we all know how that went. The brightest minds they could get on it kept that sumbitch leaking for quite some time. They wanted to keep some of that rolling so you guys could check that out, and you know, it kind of sets the mood, it sets the tone. Man, I appreciate you guys being here. We had technical difficulties yesterday. That didn't help. I finally got that all squared away today. I've been streaming for like 6 hours or so, making sure that it runs fine. And now, man, have we got a lot to talk about. Now, there's a chance I won't be here until a little bit later tomorrow because I will be at a meeting with militia members. And, of course, I will have news from the meeting to see, you know, what all we're coming up with, what's new, and what's coming our way. Because I can tell you now, being on the forefront of all of the different activism and things like that, there is stuff coming on the forefront. It will be here. Changes are coming. I can't say anything right now because things are being put together. but we definitely are on the verge of some big changes. I've kind of had a weird day today. There were some people going around with petitions for Responsible Ohio in my neighborhood. I immediately stopped them. I told them that Responsible Ohio is a horrible government organization, that it's harming all of us. We ended up having a lot of really good conversation. And so Responsible Ohio, I hope you fuckers got my message. You haven't fooled us out here. We know exactly what's going on. And I got to talk to your workers today, so I sent you guys, Responsible Ohio, a message through your workers. I hope you got that, and I hope I hear from you. So yeah, let's get started here, man. Let's get going.
Both tell you what. Life can be hard, but you just gotta push through.
Sometimes just let it go. Plant seeds in your mind, water it with rhymes and let it grow. Attack with actions, words only worth half, and that's the exact fraction. Life's more massive than anyone's ask, but actors act like it's only their path until they're blasted. Lessons are experience reflected through your lenses. Perception bends presence, connections, and attention causes tension. Respect connects unless it gets no reflection. Who's the boss, but who's on top? Gets tossed off, the logic is crossed, twisted. Significantly, people can't see the cause. Consider the visions of gods, divinity, the Trinity, and consider other religions. Even heathenistic decisions that offer different visions. Educate, levitate, to calculate the odds. Condition your position before you get lost. It's the SNS crew, Democrats be the squad.
S to the K, H-Y to the J-E-D-I. Cause we stay high so blind, you know it. Cause I'm a poet glowing like the sun, so bright a show and flowing like the night is done. Patrolling, taking control of the lyrical soul. Speaking vocal frequencies, spoken like my spit was sonar. Beheaded like a ninja, revving in just like a snowball. My baby cast a goal when she inspired us to go far. I don't do it for the dubs, I do it for the love. And I don't do it for the clubs, shape-shifting fake plugs. I'm just playing what you hand me. You can turn the other way and fall back on that plan B. That's all fine and dandy, we the SNS crew. We wickedly spitting written encryptions for submission that we can see through. So while you switching your positions and giving up on your condition, Joe, we can see you. I'm a suburban hip-hop caper, rip your tip top like it's paper. Take your mixtape and I rape her, so stop waiting, play a hater. What you gon' do? I'm sick of this child's play. All this shit is complaining, straining on my vocal cords like I broke the open door. Burning bridges to the core, cord and visions, my reward. My incisions make it sore, then we pass it off and we explore.
Tune into the movement to view the conclusion. SNS crew improvement, congruent with the coolest. No fooling, leave your medulla oblongata drooling, feeling foolish like a broken tool, you can't use it. Screw loose, no moving, drilling it out, Dremel useless. Smooth away the pain and bruises with Bruce from rulers. Teachers and students, lawyers and movers, construction workers and builders do what we need to do for the moolah. To use our computers, television, cell phones, and computers. Funerals concluded, included with tulips. The cost of life really can't be computed from loot. But ladders and hoops, compounding fractals and loops, created to sedate to separate us from the natural. It's a plan devised tactical. We need to break and cut loose from this noose, it's not practical.
Man, that makes me wanna slap a hoe.
But I won't let you. I may be under pressure, but I'm more like a professor giving lectures I was learning. Some people build bridges and some people start burning. Start learning and turn it around and change your life. Cause maybe you will end up having only strife and pain. It's not the same as it used to be. Some people try to take the game away from you ruthlessly. It's not the same, it's strange, and it maintains on a different plane. Man, it just fucks with my brain.
Twisted, subliminal, paranormal, mortal phrases. Uplifted, formally, courteously, I'm enormously racist. Vicious, the gifted one, malicious. With a flip of the tongue, test the S to the S to meet the hit with a stick of a bitch, just run.
Why we gotta live our lives this way? Why we gotta live our lives this way? Maybe one day we can push the pain away. Why we gotta go and live our lives this way?
So let's get into some news. Thanks to the SNS crew. This picture's actually old. It's about 3 years old now, I think. And then in front of those police, you see all their shields lying on the ground. They did stand in solidarity with the people. It was pretty cool. I wanted people to see that. We actually have a lot to go over. Here's a video of Madison Township, Ohio. And let's see.
Oh, I got a camera. You're not coming in. Oh, I got that camera now. Got on camera. Police brutality. Watch out. Police brutality. Police brutality, bro. You cops, no. On video. We all got it. I got that on video, though. Oh, my God. Wait, police brutality, man. I got it on video. On the news. On the news. This gotta go everywhere, though. I am down. Send it in the news. Behind your back? Did you get his temper how mad he got and just grab him up? Yeah, I saw that. Oh, this is going on in the news. Behind your...
So there you go. The Madison Township. You saw there at the very beginning. She was standing there. She said, "I'm not letting you in," and he just grabs her right up. You know, that's a big part of our police force there today. DHS agents gun down and kill American civilian. I haven't been able to vet that, but it says they're trying to keep it quiet. If you guys get a chance to check out the 5th column, they have a lot of good stories. This one specifically is direct illegal action that they've admitted to, and they won't suffer any consequence. I don't want to ruin it for you, but it'll make you pissed off. So Times Square takeover of truth, May 30th, 2015. Times Square, be there. It's on Saturday, May 30th at 1 o'clock. May 30th, Anonymous United Against Police Brutality will be on 14th Street, Union Square. So 15 minutes later, be able to rally over there. And in between those two times, New York City's Anonymous Unite, also at Union Square. So they've been able to combine those police brutality and corruption events and put them together. And then all of that will go over into the Times Square takeover. So we hope to see you there. There's going to be quite a few folks there. Now, I told you I've had a weird day. Earlier today, you see there it says I just helped to save a baby bird. My daughter noticed a bird outside on the ground that wasn't able to fly, and it looked like it had fallen out and been hurt. And what we had watched before then was some larger birds coming in like a Nat Geo moment and swooping down on a bunch of little birds. The little birds looked like they were trying to defend the nest. So then next thing you know, we find a bird that looks like a baby bird, and it can't get up the tree. So our daughter tells me, and it was like all the adults in the house, and next door we got mobilized, and we got the bird back up in the tree. We contacted the Ohio Wildlife Center. They said that the mom will take it back if we put it in a Tupperware with some paper towels and get it back in the tree. So that's what we were able to do. Thank you, Reese. Thank you, Riley. Thank you, Christine. Thank you, everybody. So on top of helping out the little bird and talking to the responsible Ohio petitioners and giving them my contact information and telling them to get a hold of me and all of this, I also I got yelled at by one of my neighbors. He was driving in like a lunatic. I was trying to tell him to slow down and everything, but he ended up cussing me out before I ever had a chance. So thank you to that guy. Thank you to the unfriendly neighbor who should not be doing 35 through in a parking lot. But we live in Jackassville. So here's a video. This will break your heart. This Sergeant James Brown survived 2 tours in Iraq, and then He died begging for his life in a Texas jail cell. He was 26 years old.
We begin today with a story about an Iraq War veteran who served 2 tours in Iraq only to die in a county jail in El Paso, Texas. Sergeant James Brown was just 26 years old when he mysteriously died in 2012. A local news station, KFOX 14, recently obtained video from inside the jail showing Brown's last moments.
See, and he was sitting there, he was fine.
That's over my nose and my mouth. Because you want to take my arm out of this?
I mean, he's talking calm and everything. And they, you know, they ended up letting him die.
No, sir. We're gonna have to do one or the other to help my breathing. Please. That's all I ask.
By the end of the video, Brown has said he can't breathe at least 20 times. Then he is left naked in a cell, not blinking or responding. His breathing shallow. Attorneys say an ambulance was never called.
And they're just standing there over him. They didn't do anything. Again, another example, right? Well, here's Rome Hilliard Road here on the west side of Columbus. And people had asked the gentleman, Donnie Madden, if the people that were driving were in full fatigues, and yes, they are. So this isn't too far from my house, and it's a lot closer to a lot of other people I know. And this was today, so about 7 hours ago, around 1 o'clock. So here's another video. Check this out.
Oh God. It's fucking crazy. Oh my God.
He sees the cops are illegally parked.
Parked in a fire lane, tent lane, used for emergency purposes. Could you please move the vehicles to...
We're on here because we got called here for a police matter.
That's why I asked if there was an emergency.
There you go, I just told you.
Okay.
Listen, it's public record. If you want to know about it, you can go tomorrow and get public record.
Oh, I don't care about what it is. I was just double checking if this was an issue. I would like to ask if there would be an emergency light of some sort on one of these vehicles around my house.
So this goes on, and he says, and you saw the cop chuckle right there, you know? They're not taking him seriously. He's like, hey, check this out. You're in the emergency thing, you're blocking the front of the store. What you can't see, you'll see here in a minute, is that there's more cop cars are on the other side of that one. And they're not taking him seriously, and he's like, look, this is for the protection of the people. This is obviously not an emergency. So they're not listening to him. This goes on. He continues to try to plead with him.
I am part of the public. I am a citizen, right? Citizens are allowed to... You're a public servant. I would like to know there is actually an expired law. We have the freedom of speech.
Are you being arrested right now for flipping anybody off?
No.
Okay, then what are you talking about?
I'm just letting you guys know that
Thank you for letting us know
what
we're dealing with, do you? Okay.
I don't really care. There's no emergency lights coming.
So they're telling him to file a complaint and that they're not going to do anything, and they don't listen to him, and he talks to him. Now see, they just went in the store. They're going in there, so he says okay and decides to film their license plates.
974. Next one, 9065. And last of all, we have 16094. Whew.
So they got 4 cars there. So he goes in. He's gonna go in to talk to him again. You know, and he's obviously not a threat or anything like that. He goes in here to talk to him, and they are not appreciative of his presence. Watch how this churns. Watch how quickly this goes.
May I have your badge number, sir? I'm asking a question. May I have your badge? May I have your badge number? I'm leaving as soon as I ask for badge number.
That was it. He gets arrested at that point, and they haul him away. They, those are your tax dollars hard at work. Once again, another example. That's 3 examples. Now, for those of you who don't know, this is a recording, but right here, this is just a clip. But right now, Rand Paul is still speaking on NSA surveillance and the Patriot Act because it is up for renewal, and they got to vote to pass it again. And he's brought up really good points once again. So we'll see where that goes. Rand Paul's rant on Senate floor versus NSA more irrational than ever. Very damaging to American security. Why does anyone listen to him? This is our rep, Pete King. And he is nothing but a fucking problem, obviously. But I went to his Facebook page, which is Facebook/rep Pete King. And asked him, look, then why don't you get on the floor and debate Rand Paul on the merits? And I have yet to get a response. So if you guys want to visit his page and also ask him to do the same thing, feel free. Don't know that he's going to listen to us. Now, this was shared to me by our buddy Erickson Harrell, the officer down in Florida who is also a member of Anonymous. He likes to don the mask and do it as a freedom. It's a right and a freedom of expression and freedom of speech. And other cops like messing with him because they don't know he's a cop. So he sent this: a tax per mile. Americans should not allow GPS tracking of cars and trucks. But here's the thing: Barack Obama actually made it an executive order that all cars produced starting, I believe, next year will be, if they're going to be driven in the United States, it's mandatory that they have a GPS tracking system on them. The GPS tracking system is what's used to regulate your tax per mile. So, there you go. What do you guys think? Do you think there should be a tax per mile? Do you think it's all insanity? All right, did you know that your birth certificate is actually a bond? And I don't want you to listen to me, because that's just dumb. I want you to get your birth certificate, and I want you to look at the strange numbers, and I want you to see under your mother's signature where it says notifier, and there's a strange number there. Then I want you to go to e-commerce, and where you look up stock trades, things like that. Look up that number and see who it is that owns you. This all changed in the 1800s, 1864, I believe, when the country was changed into a corporation. This comes along from the lines of the sovereign belief and the constitutionalist belief, and it's a lot of stuff that'll blow your mind. It's crazy, but what it ends up doing is it gives answers as to why we're in the position we're in and who did it and when and where, and it gives all these answers we didn't think we were going to get. So look into that. Look into your birth certificate being a bond. Now, I don't know if it's worth billions, but I know that it does have worth. So the war on drugs brought in more drugs, and the war on terror created more terrorists. Maybe next year we can have a war on money and jobs and see where it goes. I'm with that. I'm absolutely with that. I heard you over there giggling. I like that. All right. And there was something else I wanted to show you guys. Ah, yeah, Brazil. Corrupt politician equals instant justice, and there he is. He has been taped to a pole. Just want you guys to think about that. And we got about 3 minutes. I'll play a little song. I'll come back. I want to talk about the upcoming events. I want to talk about the event in Mount Vernon. I want to talk about my meeting with the militia tomorrow and give you guys my opinions on the prosecutors in Mount Vernon and some of their irresponsibility. So let's do this. I'll play the song now, and we'll come back here in a minute. I appreciate you being here.
Trump the beat like Mr. Pack. I launch another missile track. The master and commander is a spark, another swisher pack. A monster and I'm back, attacking, conquering. In fact, I'm conjuring tactical goblins. Now I'm hunting project stacks. Hopping them like Crash fucking Bandicoot. But I'm not a bandit, dude. Cooper cannon shoot, damn the loot. I'm here to damage you. Metroid Prime just like I'm Samus. Amateurs get painted like they canvas, and I'll eat you like a sandwich. Maximum the pain, but no games cause I ain't playing. You left for dead just saying, I'll be aiming at your cranium. Punch out Tyson swaying, no Iron Man titanium. Breathing fireman, I'm spiral flying through your home retirement. Riding with contraband like Contra. 18 van filled with ganja, Fantasy Star Saga. Sonic Springs, I'll launch you through some chronic rings of smoke. I gotcha, hops a obstacle to the top, boss imposter. Whether it's Godzilla, Gorilla, or Hitman Killers, my finger is on the trigger, increasing the score ticker. Feather shoes be more quicker, relevant scripture. Stomp the hordes, crunch your aim into a 4 before you're bigger, quicker. Grab some liquor, pixelated, twisted, Mr. My transistor, picture, fist of fury, barely Mr. History is listed, hindered from the missions of a Sith where y'all can barely see me like Magoo, you got a shit score. I am top 10 villain, Dr. Robotnik. Spock is on the turntable, shockingly rocking it. Knocking out competitors while you just bust a move. While I'm stacking on these bars like Tetris, flexing, I'm so smooth. You know I'm taking out your Kuso, Ruby Malone. Wet him jetted, not a threaded to be head with the chrome. Not upsetted, redemption's red-deaded, indebted. No more credit when the prototype's embedded in your bone. I'm always crafty, minds by that I mean explosives. So it's not a rhyme scheme, borrowed of my motives. Time be reminding me to find the golden tokens. Greedy little being, yes, assassins is my creed. I am the baddest company per rapper, rapping classically. Button mashing, Madden dashing means nobody's catching me. This is where you fight for life like dying light at night. I'm frightful, it's got you stressed, yo, but not as sick as Zombie XO. The bigger the vest, but trigger the head, you figure the rest is helpful. Hit with the shiver, the literal killer ability, still with the skills to melt you. So bow down to Zod, Haran, and thoughts of zombies gone. The herbicide, I'm on, I'll calm the ninjas on your lawn. Now open up your eyes and see the evil within. Angels and demons and sin, the darkness leaves you condemned. Had enough yet? So fast on the clutch of my overdrive sunset. Master of puppets, not a naughty bear, but an even clears upset. It's the success of a starship trooper, roughneck, back to the future. Lupus, suspect number, numerals, get fact at base in a 8-bit world. But I got this pixel perfect, gross up blindness with neck, make you 12 monster, I'll roar your dinosaur. So blow another bong and sing along just like you know me, till I pop out of the shadow, cut you short just like Shinobi. Lay the smackdown on your ass until you tapping out jabroni. Ain't no phony, always game at home, I make I'm Mr. Lonely. Pack a Tecmo Bowl, now Ralph a Rackabo. Dismount you skepticals, I'll joust you off your ostrich. I'm just awesome, I'm impeccable, except I've lost my sendibles. The crest from Zelda Centerfold in the case of Elder Scrolls. Go ahead and raise the black flag like you able, or go back and take the right path like Fable. This nuisance revolutionist is about to turn the table, so don't mess with weed like Nintendo, I'll have to cut the cable. Step back or get hacked into a dark sector. Twisted metal, shoot a missile through a wall. Spectre, I got my word and I'm made of balls. Vector, every console I'm an achievement collector.
Alright, thank you S&S crew. So, alright, let's get to it. If you go to letter C and letter N, masks, C and N, masks, you can check out custom masks that are made however it is that you want them. We have a couple of other businesses I'm going to try not to forget. It's just kind of hobbies. If you're an activist, protester, militia, anything like that, and you, I don't know, crochet blankets, I don't care what it is, I'll promote you on here. I want to say thanks to the Awakened Cincinnatians and their members. Those guys are working really hard on a lot of really cool future stuff. We also have the militia that I'm meeting with tomorrow, and the purpose for the meeting is it relates to the survey question that I asked all of you in the show yesterday I didn't get to do. How many of you would like to see the militia in a more public presence? How many of you would like to see the militia in the public eye more often in a larger capacity? So can't wait to see what you guys say. I already know what a lot of answers are going to be, but I can't wait to see what the general discussion is on that, because I'm going to hand that over to the militia tomorrow and show them, hey, this is what people are saying, you know, good or bad. So I'll be meeting with them tomorrow to kind of see a little bit, where they're at and what we can do with them, and talk about the growth of the community, or the activist community, and where they need the militia. So Mount Vernon, Ohio. We head up there Saturday, and it is a torrential downpour. And as we're driving up to the square in Mount Vernon, you see people standing there, and they didn't care that it was raining. None of them, not one. So we got out with them, and we rallied with them, and the news was there. The community was out there. But when we decided, hey, let's get out of the rain where we can hand over some flyers and network and get some contact information, things like this, somebody from the community shows up with a flyer that says, actually, here, let me grab it. There's a lot of people that are really steamed about this. There's a lot of people that are unhappy, as they should be. Here it is. You see there that it's for a living center. It's a retirement community. So this is what they did. They sent this flyer out to the community before we got out there. The Living Center, a Levering Management Senior Living Residence, May 15th, 2015. Residents and staff, the Knox County Prosecutor's Office has requested this notice be given out to the Knox County area. So this didn't just go to scare the shit out of old people. This went to the businesses. This went to everybody. On Saturday, May 16th, 2015, there will be a protest in downtown Mount Vernon due to the incident at the jail some days ago. And that's all the credence, the incident in the jail some days ago. Where the cops murdered a guy and now he has a daughter that doesn't have a mother or a father. The child doesn't. She doesn't. The demonstration will include a gun rights group. These individuals may be lawfully carrying their guns. Lawfully is in italics, as to implicate or infer that they may not be lawfully carrying. Please arrange your outside of the building trips to not, and this is in bold italics, occur on Saturday, May 16th, 2015. If you need to go out of the building, go north to get out of the downtown area. This is for your protection. Thank you and take care. Please pray for a calm demonstration. Sincerely, Joan Levering, the director. 201 North Main Street, Mount Vernon, Ohio, 43050. Phone number 740-397-3897. Fax number 740-397-2442. And I imagine that's the number to the retirement center. So, as an activist, as a protester, that is what you're going to deal with. It doesn't make it any less disrespectful. It doesn't make it any less irresponsible that they would do something like that. And it's incredibly irresponsible. If it was one of my grandparents in one of the many retirement centers in the Mount Vernon community that got this, that we heard the residents in the centers were locking themselves in their rooms. That prosecutor's office couldn't be any more irresponsible. It's not possible. It's not possible. You do not do that. I have publicly called for the Mount Vernon prosecutor's office to apologize to that entire community on behalf of scaring them for no reason. They painted us as the enemy. And it's irresponsible. It's damaging. Obviously, it was meant to be. It is par for the course, though. If you're going to try to fight for what's good in this country, if you're going to try to be a voice for the people who cannot speak for themselves, you will commonly run into stuff like this. Most of the time, though, even Lima, Ohio wasn't this freaking stupid. I mean, that's dumb. That's really stupid. Look at that. Please pray for a calm demonstration. I mean, so we go out there and they have me on camera saying, let's honor that little girl, let's honor that family, let's honor this community, and we will hold the police accountable. So everything that they were fear-mongering towards ended up looking like garbage. It just ended up looking like garbage because it's not us, and you know, we just made them look like the asses they are, which is what I told them on the prosecutor's page. So, as a protester, demonstrator, organizer, whatever, you're going to run into these types of things, and all of these are positive. All of these things can be used for good. Think about it this way. They misappropriated public funds, hands down, right, to do some fear-mongering propaganda. But they did advertise for us. You know, the public is very aware of our presence. Now that they have that awareness, the government-sponsored awareness, thank you very much. Now that they have that, we can capitalize on that and say, yeah, I know this is what you heard, but check this out. This is who we actually are. So it's positive to be able to, you know, we can capitalize on what it is they've, you know, what is it in the Christian Bible? It says to be able to use evil for good, basically. So, you know, that's what we'll do. Now, we have a Monsanto rally this weekend that's going to take place both in Columbus and Mount Vernon. If you are close to the Mount Vernon, Ohio area, then they have a farmer's market that runs until noon. Try to get there and support that farmer's market. You know, just go buy a freaking apple and give them a little bit of information. Hand them a flyer with information regarding Monsanto, you know, regarding activism, you know, let them know that we're there. And there's a gentleman by the name of Brian Smith in the Mount Vernon area that you can, I can connect you with. He is organizing that effort. So we're going to go back up to Mount Vernon and do a toy drive, food and clothing drive, and I think we're also going to pick up litter to show what kind of bad guys we are. And we're going to bring the militia with us every time. I mean, I'm not trusting the Mount Vernon Police Department to protect me. I trust my militia to protect me from the police department and any other lunatic in town. So, you know, they'll see what the people, you know, gun rights activists groups, you know, they'll see. Freaking morons. There was somebody on there who said, I saw people out there that have warrants and that's why they were wearing masks. No, anonymous members wear masks to show equality, to show that we are all the same. We are all the same. You put that mask on and we are all the same. We are all anonymous. You know, it's to show that there is no discrimination against us. That it doesn't matter the color of your skin, the tone of your voice, you know, anything. We are all the same. And we are all in it, in this struggle for the same reasons. So, you know, again, the antiquated belief that the people, somebody's hiding behind a mask. You're going to have to start to use new rhetoric, because we've been able to just destroy the preconceived notions every time. You can't hate on a bunch of people wearing masks and picking up litter. You can't. It's impossible. Even if the militia is standing there and you're like, oh, I don't like guns and I don't like people in masks, but they're picking up litter, you know what I mean? These can't be bad people. You're insane if you think they are. You've lost your mind. So we, you know, we plan on doing some pretty cool things. I'll let you guys know how that militia meeting goes tomorrow. It's at 6 o'clock, but it's about an hour or so north of here, and I don't know how long it's going to go. So I may be coming on at 9 o'clock tomorrow night. But I'll at least have updates. If I can't get on tomorrow night, you guys will definitely see me Friday. So, and then Saturday we go out, and I guess I should try to live stream when I go. Yeah, I guess I should try to do that. I don't know. I'll figure that out, and I'll tell you before Saturday. I'll let you know. So yeah, let me pull up something here for you guys. I want to show you something. along with sending out that letter, I know you can hear me typing. Oh, they blocked me. Well, I was blocked from their page. They're using public funds to block me from their page, which is not okay, but whatever. Let's see here. See if I can find another way to it. If you get a chance, go to, in the Facebook search bar, go to Mount Vernon Prosecutor's Office. And anyway, they even had their own notice on their page. You know, they were trying to warn the world about this, and it was just some of the most ridiculous stuff you've ever read in your life. And they had, it was all about fear. It was all about fear, and that's it. And I also posted on their Mount Vernon Police Department page, and I sent them an anonymous video letting them know that Anonymous is not happy with the police forces. Aha, I found you. They tried. It didn't work. Here we go. There's our buddy. Knox County's prosecutor's office. And, let's see. Open carry laws. Let's say, in light of the anticipated demonstrations occurring this weekend, we would like to help ensure that they are calm and non-confrontational. See? Again, painting us in a bad light. If you haven't come out to any of these events, you can tell that we need you. I mean, we're up against a juggernaut. You know, the funding these people have, you know, we need everybody. We've seen how the court of public opinion can change things over and over and over again. You know, we've seen this. And so, okay, on the left side it says, do not enter a business with a posted no weapons or no gun sign. Number 2, carry a firearm onto KAT transportation. This is public transportation, and firearms cannot be properly secured. 3, carry a firearm on the public square during the Mount Vernon Farmers Market. This violates the regulations of the OSU Extension Office, which controls the farmers market. Right? So they're telling us that because they have the farmers market up until 12, that while that's going on, you can't have a gun on you while on the Mount Vernon Square. And it says, feel free to open carry in public spaces. This is your Second Amendment right. Feel free to exercise it. But not if there's a farmer's market, because you can't mix a farmer's market and guns. I mean, first of all, farmers don't allow guns. We all know that, right? Right? I mean, you know, wait a minute. You can't allow guns around a farmer's market? What in the hell is wrong with these people? So number 2, explain to bystanders why you are exercising your open carry rights. I'm sorry, Gestapo. If I wish to speak to somebody, that's my own private conversation. And if I wish to not speak to somebody, that's still my own private choice. You dictating any part of when it is I speak, or dictating how it is that I speak, tells me that you have no idea what your position is as a county prosecutor. Not all citizens will be aware of why you are open carrying. Well, I don't know. I mean, if, you know, if we taught people the Constitution, and I don't know if I was a prosecutor, somebody involved in it at all, I don't know. Whose obligation, more so, is it at that point to teach the citizenry and explain to them? Is it the gun owner, or is it the somebody who has taken all of this time in school and in their career to learn the law? I don't know. Exercise your First Amendment speech rights peacefully. Let's keep our demonstrations civil and non-confrontational. Absolutely ridiculous. Abso-fucking-lutely ridiculous, dude. Americans typically, we are civil people, everybody knows this, for the most part, unless you put us at a concert. But, I mean, look, we're not a nation of heathens. If that was the case, this joint would be burning right now. That's obviously not the case. We want to play Xbox, eat dinner, and chill out, and smoke weed, and shit like that. That's what we do as Americans. We're not, the type of folks. I mean, if that was the case, we would already have overthrown this government and then dared some foreign presence to step foot on our soil or say they have sovereign land here. China, Japan. No, that ain't us. But they paint us in this light, and I think everybody knows why. I think everybody understands what that is they're trying to do. So somebody posts Ohio gun and CCW laws. Here's the thing. When we go there on the square, we will have our guns. It doesn't matter what these people say. Our right to be able to do so is going to be a laminated copy of the United States Constitution. And that will be our permit to be able to do so. So here we go. This is my response. This is incredibly irresponsible. You have created fear where there should be none, but that is not all you have done. You have also validated our positions as activists. You would treat law-abiding citizens as people your community should stay away from in fear and label us as enemies by inference. Let me enlighten your office as to who exactly was in your town yesterday. We brought leadership from the activist community to your town yesterday, and with good reason. We do not bring all of our members to a town for a first event. This serves the purpose of keeping our people safe and gives us the ability to network with local members of the community and to plan larger future events. When leadership is inferred to be reckless or lawless by a prosecutor's office responsible for criminal negligence, we feel as if you are our biggest supporter by serendipitous means. Furthermore, as leadership, we are the ones responsible for allowing calmer heads to prevail in our communities. We are the ones that organize frustration into productive civil disobedience, a founding principle held in the highest of regard here in America. So if you continue to treat us as your enemies, it will only serve to make you look like the asses you are. You are not today, nor have we ever been, the enemies of people who love and are willing to fight for freedom or justice. If you find yourself on the end of our scorn, then understand that you have earned that position rightfully. You deserve the rebuke of a community that deserves much better than to be fear-mongered and lied to by those sworn to protect them. How dare you be so corrupt and bold in your given position of trust you clearly do not deserve. This office represents the reason we came to your town. You are the lessers of our community, and your days of corrupt influence are ending. We would not be here were it not for the members of your community reaching out to us. We would not be here if you had fulfilled your oaths and protected the least of your community. How dare you not stand beside those who are trying to keep our lands from circling the drain? How dare you be part of what is hurting our country the most right now? How dare you be part of a criminal system that impugns us with your impotent and poisonous advice? Do us all a favor, either stand with us as you should or quit, because you can never be us and you can never beat us as members of the beat us as all members of the bar are traitors to the United States of America. You will learn from those you are supposed to represent how unity promotes change. The court of public opinion will ring so loud as to render you deaf from the sound of our freedom. Make no mistake, we remain unimpressed at your limp-wristed efforts and could not care less about the power, influence, or clout this office wields. There is nothing you can do to people that are no longer willing to be subjected to your novice rhetoric. You have no words for us other than to apologize to your community. This office owes every resident of the Mount Vernon community an immediate apology and could be a great example by doing so. But we do not hold our collective breaths waiting for you to show such grace. I gave him my name, Activist Liaison Network. I put BAR, British Accredited Registry. Explained to everyone how this does not make your attorneys traitors to our country. We will hold a public open town hall at our expense to anyone in this office willing to do so. So, I haven't gotten a reply from them. But Richard Brewster, with the Awakened Cincinnatians, the founder, said he watched the video. His opinion differs, but now that I saw how this town treats peaceful protesters, I think my crew and I will have to show up to the next one. Oh, that was a nice fearful letter you sent out to your residents. I hear you scared a bunch of elderly people into staying in their rooms and locking their doors. I hope you feel good about yourself. I agree with Mr. Dieter. I think you should apologize to your voters. So, let's look at some of the rhetoric that comes our way, and look at the tools from outside of this community stirring and stirring. Why did I imply those behind masks might have warrants? Because I live here, know many in town, and recognize 3 convicted felons, convicted of crimes that included violence, in the crowd after viewing the video just once. That's why. Hiding their faces from criminals indeed. Thanks for the chuckle. And the thing is this Miriam Saint Jean has completely lost the freaking point, obviously, man. Yeah, corrupt cops lock people up for all kinds of stuff there, Miriam. You're going to have to get out of your 1919 mentality and join the rest of us. Time to get up with the times. So, man, I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys being here. There's more shout-outs than what I can give. Too many good people that I know. And from Cynthia that helps me, and Moesha Letitia, and Joyce Clemens, and you know, everybody out there struggling. Everybody's got stuff going on. If you're able to help out Brian Thomas Koth, help out you know, some of our different organizations here, help out the militia, help out Activist Liaison Network. Everybody can always use more hands, more minds, more clicks of finger. Appreciate it though. Appreciate. I can tell you guys this as of right now. There's a lot of stuff coming our way, and I will start to announce it. I'll announce it here. I'll announce it in other places as well, and it's gonna be time for everybody to decide. You know, where are you? Where are you? What's your choice? Such a unique time to be alive, and dangerous. But I think if we give ourselves a chance, that's all we ever needed. We just need a chance, and no one else is going to give it to us but us. I've spoken to a lot of like-minded folks. It's very reassuring, and it looks as though the citizenry is ready to make moves in other directions and really take our freedom into our own hands. And so let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. And you know, I'll keep you up to date, and I'll give you guys choices, and I'll give you places to join and ways to fight. The methodologies and all of that. I've really tried to keep everything in a general speech, just because I didn't think people were ready. I didn't think it was time, and I was wrong again. Thank God. It is time, and people are ready, and they're ready to make other moves. That's what part of this, you know, going up to New York and meeting people is about. Meeting people out in Baltimore, meeting people in Xenia, Ohio, bringing all these people together. Trust me, things are getting ready to change. Things are getting ready to look different. So, anyway, thank you. Thank you guys. If you share the video out, the government will put you on a special list. That means they love you a lot. So, appreciate all the support. I don't know, man. There was like a ridiculous amount of people on my YouTube, man. Thank you to everybody on YouTube. You guys are awesome. And revolution, resistance fighters, freedom fighters, anonymous, sovereigns, regular old militia, you know, patriots, protesters, bikers, ralliers, demonstrators, everybody. I love all of you. And go love something. go love another electrified bag of water somewhere and have a good time with it. I'll come back tomorrow. I'll try to make it 8 o'clock. It might be 9 o'clock, not sure, but should definitely have some kind of an update. So if it's not tomorrow, it will be the next day. And then I'll try to live stream Saturday from the Columbus State House, which is March Against Monsanto. So, all right, until we meet again, enjoy. Go love another electrified bag of
Yes. Oh, this sounds grand. This motherfucker stupid think he's stepping to trade crooks. No one did music, the inception of Facebook. Deception's the case. I'm a treacherous waste of space. Step into place and get questioned with strange look. Kids got a loose screw. I'ma just do me so you can just do you. Too confusing but amusing. I shoot through. Diffusing whack rap to the point that I'm poop, dude. But I'm brand new cause I'm a cocky little chicken when I'm flipping the coupe. Inducted red ribbon, now I'm living the proof. Specific the loot is what I'm getting when I'm hitting the booth. The on a mission, unforgivable truth. Super like a sleuth when I'm getting the clue. Stupid but I'm looser with the spitting the proof. Hitting the tune, you can call it collision. Shifting world division with the rhythms I move. Clicking with my pen and then it's written with the venom within. Tripping, invented again. Definitive spin upon a classic with a pivotal trend. That means your baby got a booty, but I'm pimping a friend. If hip hop is beginning, then I'm simply the end. Me and T Smalls, y'all closer than Ken. Poker face with Joker, the inevitable grin. Always win and never have to pretend.
It's almost criminal how these cats act so I can try to smack and attack all physical. It's critical that we as individuals spread truth, got the news, so the news subliminal is pitiful. And we wonder why other motherfuckers see us as suckers perpetuating ridicule. Other countries see us as monkeys, caged in the zoo, throwing boo. Fuck you, I got a bigger stick to hit you with foolish instruments to rip through. Mix a bulldog and a shih tzu, cause it's bullshit what we trying to get through. It's mind-boggling how the richest country can have a struggling economy. Maybe it's an oddity or possibly hypocrisy. Either way, it's not okay in my philosophy. We're a long way from the way things ought to be. We need more camaraderie and possibly we can do it all.
That's right, the best, what you gonna do?
Sketchy and Smalls, no wrestling crew. Ripping and flipping, we wrecking the boo.